We're going to be discussing the latest from the Giga Chad himself, Michael Saylor, and his $10 million Bitcoin price prediction. I transcribed the interview he did on the Lex Friedman podcast. Here's what Michael Saylor had to share. If we look at Bitcoin and model it as digital gold, you know the market cap goes between 10 and 20 trillion. But remember, gold is defective property. Gold is dead money. You have $1 billion of gold that sits in a vault for a decade. It is very hard to mortgage the gold. It's also very hard to rent the gold. You can't loan the gold. No one's going to create a business with your gold. So gold, it doesn't generate much of a yield. So for that reason, most people wouldn't store $1 billion for a decade in gold. They would buy $1 billion of commercial real estate property. And the reason why is because I can rent it, I can generate a yield on that, and it's in excess of the maintenance costs. So if you consider digital property, that's a $100 to $200 trillion addressable market. So I think it goes from 10 trillion to 100 trillion as people start to think of it as digital property. What does that mean in terms of price per coin? Well, at 500,000, that's a $10 trillion asset. And at $5 million per Bitcoin, that's a $100 trillion asset. So you think it crosses $1 million, he was asked. And it could even go higher. He says, yeah, I think it keeps going up forever. I mean, there is no reason we couldn't go to 10 million a coin because digital property isn't the highest form, right? Gold was that low frequency money. Property is mid-frequency money. But when I start to program it faster, it starts to look like digital energy. And then it doesn't just replace property. Then you start to replace bonds. It's $100 trillion in bonds. There is 50 to 100 trillion in other currency derivatives. And all of these are conventional use cases, right? I think that there is $350 trillion to $500 trillion worth of currency derivatives in the world. And when I say that, I mean things that are valued based upon fiat, cash flows, any commercial real estate, any bond, any sovereign debt, any currency itself, any derivatives to those things. They're all derivatives and they are all defective. And they're all defective because of this persistent 7 to 14% lapse in which we call inflation. So there you have it. Coming from the one and only Giga Chad, Michael Saylor. What are your thoughts surrounding his $10 million Bitcoin price prediction? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below.